Hello everybody and welcome back. We are now going to have a look at the next section, and the next section that we are going to go to is section 4. Not a lot of changes in section 4. There has been a deletion of a table. There's been some changes to some rules, but nothing significant. Some clarifications more than anything. All right, let's begin. So 4004, additional language to an existing rule. So number 7, the correction factors applied in this rule shall not apply to conductors installed in auxiliary gutters containing 30 conductors or less, or inside electrical equipment for termination of these conductors at the electrical equipment. So the first thing we have to do is look at, I think, to understand what this rule actually means, is we have to go and look and see what an auxiliary gutter is. So let's just pop back to, here's definitions. An auxiliary gutter is a raceway consisting of a sheet metal enclosure used to supplement the wiring space of electrical equipment and to enclose interconnecting conductors. So this could be a box between two pieces of equipment, between two panels, we'll say. So I think that's the definition of the auxiliary gutter is not, some people will say it's a space over top of a panel where we bring all our raceways, and then we have less raceways going down to the panel. That's a junction box. That's more of a raceway itself. This is required for a couple of pieces of equipment, as it notes in here. Enclosure used to supplement the wiring space of electrical equipment. I have seen equipment that doesn't have enough space for all the wires to land in it. There's not enough space on the panel for all the raceways to tie into it if you were to have a raceway for every circuit. So they would go into a box, and then that would be considered supplemental and as an auxiliary gutter. Hope that helped explains that rule. So let's go back now. So it's for auxiliary gutters and inside electrical equipment. So this rule here is not like a raceway where you size the raceways and based on temperatures and based on the number of conductors in a raceway, you use tables 5C. This here, the correction factors, this is specifying you can use those, but it's got to be 30 conductors or more, 31 conductors or more. Okay, it's finally gone. There's always been a lot of debate across Canada with this rule. Table 39. Table 39 is officially gone. It left a lot of controversy open. There was speculation. There was services. I'm going to use an example. There was 200 amp services that were wired with 4-aught. That were never a 200 amp service. So this is one of the reasons why this table is gone. Confusion's gone. We will go by tables 2 or 4 for multi-conductor cables or conductors in a raceway. For single conductors, you'll use 1 and 3. That's really, really, really rare. And you're not going to have that for a dwelling. Almost assured of that. Table 39, this is the table that was in the back, is now gone. Open for space for down the road. One of the things that has changed is gray is no longer acceptable. So now it is white and white only. Gray is used in manufacturing. So gray is used in Part 2 standards more and more, and that's why it was allowed in our code. But we have since voted it out, and it is now gone, and it is still in the Part 2 standard. So you will still see gray coverings on conductors, but not for the installation in buildings, only for products themselves. Again, gray has been removed. And that's it for this section. Like I said, it was a very short section. Section 4 is actually a very good section to understand. Take your time with it. Section 4 is one of our commonly used sections. We size conductors out of this table, out of this section, and with tables 2 and 4 are primary, 2 being copper, and 4 being aluminum. And then remember, if you have more than 4 conductors in a raceway, you have to start to derate. Okay? Unless, as per sub-rule 3, the neutral conductor that carries only the unbalanced current from the other conductors, as in the case of normally balanced circuits of 3 or more conductors, shall not be counted in determining ampacities. So if you had a panel, excuse me, if you had a panel feeder feeding a 3-phase panel, you would not count that neutral conductor in the raceway as one of your conductors, so it would still be 100%. And great rules in here. And one of the other ones to always fall back on to realize is out there is temperature limitations, the TTR. And I'm just going to go back here and here. And we're going to finish on this, and I will see you back for section 6.